Leekautorepair. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe and all that good stuff. Let me get a minute to get situated real quick, adjust my pants and everything. Okay, so I'm working on a 2013 Hyundai Elantra. Don't worry about it. This is a GLS limited, whatever. It's a Hyundai Elantra. So problem with this car, as you can see, there is some type of damage going on. Let me grab a light for you. Yesterday it was a little fender bender, car, like a little hit and run, car ran into, literally just drove straight into this side of the car, damaged this fender right here, pushed it in a little bit. Of course, it looked like this can be buffed out a little bit, push here, scrape here as well. I ain't no body specialist. Look like this bumper, it can be saved. This fender look like, I don't know if it can be saved or replaced. I'm pretty sure this is a cheap ass fender that can be purchased somewhere inexpensively. Just gotta get painted. So gotta figure out some options, get going. I gotta like fully assess this and see. We'll figure out. For the most part, we're worrying about what's going on. I was damaged to the right front wheel. Just the real issue is when you drive, when the car drives straight. Actually, the car don't drive straight. The steering wheel is just like cocked to, I don't know if it's cocked to the right or cocked to the left. I really forget, but it's definitely way off center. And normally when you get front end collisions and stuff, if it get hit on the side, wherever suspension at, it'll definitely throw your alignment off. Definitely. So that let me believe that it could be possible bent suspension parts or steering parts. Just don't look like it wasn't hit that hard, but it was hit hard enough to shift the car or just bend some suspension parts. So let me go ahead and take this wheel off real quick, and we're just gonna begin inspecting it. I already snugged it a little bit, so it's gonna come off easy. It already missing one. I guess it was a wheel lock on there once upon a time ago, and no one ever replaced it, but good thing I got a bunch of these in my box. I'm just going ahead and put one on. 21 millimeter. Put this off to the side. Alright, let's get this wheel off. Alright, let me put this behind me. So the wheel was damaged, of course. Alloy wheels can be reconditioned. Some places that can do it for like $100 or whatever. They just resurface it, smooth it out, put new a little paint chain on it or whatever. So just whenever we dealing with suspension stuff, we looking for I look for like bent suspension parts. I'm just gonna pay attention. I'll show you in a second. Let me adjust the camera position. So I pretty much did a little quick assessment. What I do, I just compared this passenger side to the driver's side. You can see which parts are that don't look right. You can see which one that's bent or whatever. Just make a comparison. That's all I'm doing in this situation. So I already paid. I'm used to getting collision cars like these Hyundais and Kias and stuff. I always replace like the whole knee. We call it a knee with the spindle, rotor, lower control arm, strut. Like that's what we call it. And you can get those at the junkyard from like anywhere between 70 to like $150 depending on what year, make, and model or whatever. So I'm just used to the parts bending on Kia all the way. I'm just pretty much just used to it. Just from doing a bunch of cars that come from like the salvage, cars with like salvage titles, and then when they get put back together, I'll just be that bull doing the work before it gets to the body shop, pretty much. So this strut is cool. I ain't got no gloves on, but it is what it is. The strut is cool. If I would have suspected that the strut was bad, I will leave a picture on the side what the wheel looks like. But the wheel would have been pushed in. The camber definitely would have been off, so it would have been pushed in a lot. I believe if I could remember from doing alignments, because I don't really care too much about alignments. That's for the alignment guys. I like to do the heavy stuff. But when I was doing I went to the Hunter Alignment School down in Maryland when I was younger, so I guess I know some stuff a little bit. Just it'll get pushed in on the negative side, so definitely get pushed in, so there will be wear on certain part of the tire, pretty much. So but we ain't talking about alignments and nothing like that. But it would have definitely been a negative. It would have been pushed in because the strut would have been pushed in, so the camera would have been off. But it don't look like the camera just off. It looked like the wheel is just when the wheel is straight, this right wheel is turned in this way. The other wheel is turned straight. So in this case, well, I did look at the control arm. I did look at everything else. Nothing else was bent, but I want to just go ahead and tell y'all. But what I did see is what we're going to do is make a comparison. But if you can look at this tie rod right here, this is the outer tie rod I'm looking at. This part is the outer. That's the inner. The inner goes inside of the boot to the steering rack. Like I said, once again, this is outer. And you got your cotter pin, castle nut right there and everything. So I was able to see if I can get some more lighting for y'all. I should have grabbed my other light, but it is what it is. So if you can see real good, these tie rods on these Hondas, these Kias and stuff. There's a couple Hondas. It really depends on what brand but this one, as you can see, this material ain't that thick. I believe this is like cast iron or something like that. So you see how it's curved in this way. When the wheel got hit from right here, clearly it bent it in even more. When it got bent in because the wheel twisted to the right. If it was bent in from this side, the wheel would have been twisted on the opposing side, but it was bent in. The tie rod car was hit on this side, on that part of the suspension, and it pushed it in, caved it in a little bit. So I want to compare the passenger side the driver's side, so that way you guys can see the difference. All right, so this is the driver's side. So as we can see, of course, it do arch, but it doesn't. The passenger side, the one that got hit, is even arched. It's marched. I can't even say it right. It's arched even more. So we can see that it already comes like this way. They do come this way from the factory stock. This is how they built. But if we go compare it to the other side, and you can clearly see the difference. So side by side, I'm gonna leave like a little picture so that way you guys can just see the difference. But let me just go ahead and rotate back around the car again, so that way we could be on the same note. I said I was gonna leave pictures, so you can see how bent that is even more. So what I'm gonna do in this situation, I'm gonna replace the just starting off before we proceed. So I'm gonna let y'all know what I'm gonna do to take care of this situation first steps, because I know it's a bunch of stuff gotta worry about getting the body work done and all that, but straighten out the suspension first so the car can be drivable. So I want to replace this outer tie rod. Definitely replace the outer tie rod. When I do inner and outer tie rods, I don't care if it needs an inner. I do an outer. I don't never do an outer and put it on the inner. I do inner and outer both at the same time. You get fresh parts that way. I think sometimes it's just stupid to just do one without the other. It's just like doing changing your brakes and keeping the rotors on there, and then just keep 30,000 brake pads on the same rotor. Nah, just put a new assembly on there and start over fresh or whatever. And two, it'd be easier for the guy who's doing the alignment to make his adjustments, no problem. That way he ain't got to heat up parts and expand the metal and all of that. So we ain't got to worry about that issue. Just put new everything. Get rid of the rust, debris, corrosion. Not corrosion, but just the rust and stuff or whatever. Put new parts on. You good. That's just the correct way for me to do it. So, like I said, get new inner and outer tie rod. Good thing the driver's side needs to be replaced. Got the car looked at like a Tires Plus a couple weeks back, and there is some play on the left side. I did confirm that from the inner tie rod. So we'll be doing inner and outers on left front and right front. So of course, this will be a video. So before I wrap this up, I want to put the camera back on the tripod, and I want y'all to see the difference from when the wheel's straight from the driver's side to the passenger side. So I'll put the steering wheel centered. Got it centered real good. So let's make a comparison real quick. Let me grab my light. So pay attention to here. And let's just look at the back part of the wheel and look at the front wheel. So we see it's just kind of, it looks straight to me, looks straight enough. But this one do need a tie rod because it has play, inner tie rod has play in it. But this one is straight. So let's compare this wheel. Let me go right here so that way you can see. So that looks good. And you can see from right here, this wheel is just cocked out. I'm stand from right here, from this position. I need to get that light out of the way. It's really in my way. You can see from right here, see how it's turned in? Because the way it was hit and that arcing in the tie rod on that side shifted it out, basically brought the toe out pretty much. So it needs to go back in pretty much. Just needs a new tie rod. Ain't no fixing it. Don't be that guy bending it or whatever, because you don't got no alignment machine and just don't be bending no parts or whatever. So see how straight that is? So this car pretty much gonna do the, if you can see me, the inner and outer tie rod for the left front, inner and outer tie rod for the right front. So bam bam, gonna be doing those. And after the car, we do the steering parts. When you do suspension parts, steering parts, always try to get in alignment. Just when you do certain stuff in the suspension or definitely in the steering, like moving the subframe out of position or whatever, moving and shifting the rack or whatever, you play with the alignment angles regardless, so they will always change when you mess with steering and suspension. Do not listen to nobody when they be like, oh, I'm gonna put the rod in alignment, not be off. Yeah, you're not an alignment machine. You don't have invisible red arrows going from, or lasers going from each wheel, getting every goddamn degree to the T. You ain't no alignment machine. No, you're not computerized. So we're gonna do the tie rods, like I said, do the alignment, and then on alignment, I want the alignment sheet because I want to see that the caster is cool, and I want to see that the camber is good. If you want to know what caster and camber is, let's just do a little quick analysis, real quick. So where's my wheel? Where's my light? So let's just ignore. Oh, here, go right here in my pocket. So let's stand from right here at this view to see the way the wheel is out. The toe is out. If the wheel was close to the inside of the wheel well, the toe would be in. And last time I checked, that's what it was. Camber is the tilt from like top to bottom. So let's look at it on a vertical view. So if it tilts that way, camber is which way? If it tilts that way, then you know what the camber is on that side. So when the wheel is straight, it's rolling like this way is straight. If it tilt, then you know you're gonna have wear on what side of the tire. If it tilt that way, exactly. So that's that. Caster, if you want to know what caster is, a lot of people get confused on caster, but from my knowledge, from where my best understanding, I give you a ghetto definition. Let's just worry about the distance between, the distance and like the fender and like the wheel well. So let's say if the wheel was pushed up this way, then the caster moved forward. If it went pushed in that way, because this do happen in accidents where shift the wheel that way, and then you'd be all weird driving down the street and stuff like that. So from my knowledge, caster, let's just worry about the distance from here to the tire. Like the tire got to be like perfectly centered in the wheel well. So it can't be too far this way and it can't be too far back. It got to be like dead on like a wear axis or whatever. It got to be like it's just got to be dead on straight. So I try to give y'all like a ghetto definition of it or whatever from my knowledge. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna take care of those few things, get it done, bam bam. If everything was good on alignment, then we're just gonna pretty much go from there. Just definitely we gotta figure out what's going on with the situation with the insurance. It sound like you might gotta pay out of pocket because I don't know if people didn't have insurance. I don't know. I'm a mechanic. I just do what I do and do my job or whatever. So I'm gonna go to repair. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe. Anybody want to send me some cool stuff, Malik. Leekautorepair, parentheses, PO Box number 4, Lansdowne, PA 19050. Leekautorepair shirts $25 plus shipping. Get with me in an email. Anybody want to send me some when we do product reviews, send it to my email, leekautorepair@gmail.com. As well as car questions, you need advice or whatever, you ain't got nobody to talk to, you just need some answers, you can hit me up on the email, leekautorepair@gmail.com. Yeah, that's all I got to say. So make sure I said follow me on Gram 2 Leekautorepair. So I'm getting out this chunk. The next following what I got to do is an 08 Chevy Impala. I'm gonna be doing a video on installing mounts. So this video probably is going to be out before that. I don't know how it is gonna fall online, but this one just getting this content out there or whatever. So just gotta be helpful to those who need help. So I'm Leekautorepair. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe. I'll holler at y'all.